Hello, and welcome to Tea is Good, Books Are Better, the podcast where we drink tea and talk about books. I almost said the podcast where we drink books and talk about tea.
Nice.
That's where my brain is at right now.
So, I tried to take the bus to work
Okay.
because I have no other means of transportation, and it, failed. Like,
What?
both of the buses, drove right by because they were too full.
Oh no.
I was, the first bus I waited for was at 7, and then the second came at 7:30, and that's when my shift starts.
Oh shit.
Yeah, neither of them picked me up. So I was messaging my team lead, and thankfully she got someone to come and pick me up. But
Yeah.
kind of glad I didn't have to ride the buses.
Yeah.
I'm kind of dreading it. I was wearing rubber gloves and a face mask.
Yeah, fuck that shit. Gross.
Yeah, and then another coworker volunteered to give me lifts because she lives close. But yeah, I'm glad I didn't have to take the bus.
Well, that's really nice of her to give you a ride.
Yeah, she lives pretty close to where I live, which is cool.
Oh, nice.
Hmm.
I am glad that they're limiting the amount of people on the buses, though.
Yeah, because I was thinking, wouldn't that be a huge germ fest?
Yeah. Absolutely. People touching all the hand holder thingies and the chairs and the
Yeah,
ew.
usually they're crammed and everyone is so closely packed together.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a good thing.
It worked out.
Yeah,
Cool.
let's do
Okay.
it with you.
Uh, I've been talking to someone who's having friends over, and I'm like, am I the only one who right? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, remember a coworker was telling me that she had plans on hosting people on Easter, and I was like, that's not very smart during this time, and she was surprised that I thought so. I
What
think
the
she ended up
fuck?
canceling it, but still, what are you
She's
doing?
and she's putting all of you guys at risk if she does that.
Yeah, absolutely.
What the
Mm,
fuck is going on?
I know. I guess people are just really not getting it.
Yeah.
Well,
The fuck? What do I can't say anything to these people. What do I do?
I know.
It's I feel like I can't say anything because then it feels very I imagine they would feel like I'm attacking them if I'm if they're like, "Oh yeah, I have a friend coming over later." And I'm like, is that safe?"
Yeah. I guess it depends on how close you are with the other person, if you can call them out,
I guess so.
or what kind of relationship you have with them.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just what your choices right now affect literally everybody.
Yeah.
Literally everybody.
It's frustrating.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't understand why people don't get it at this point though.
I know, it's been a long time.
The more you fuck around right now, the longer we're gonna have to be in this situation.
True. Oh my god.
Yeah. Really frustrating.
Hmm.
Anyway, yeah. So that's been my weekend and my thoughts and what's been going through my mind.
Your frustrations.
Yeah. Ugh.
What are you drinking, Raven? I heard that slurp.
I'm drinking spiced apple tea.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Does it
it's
taste like apple pie?
yeah, a little bit. Surprisingly, it's a black tea,
Oh.
which I feel like I can tell. Black tea has it's got a hit.
Like
Know
a
what I mean?
bittery taste?
No, it's not even a taste. It's just a mouthfeel or a effect. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's the only I enjoy all teas, but black tea's the only one that actually makes me feel good, I guess. Maybe it has more caffeine or something. I don't know.
Maybe. That's probably it.
Yeah. What are you drinking?
Earl Grey tea. Yeah.
Nice. Ugh, I need some Earl Grey. I'm all out of Earl Grey.
Mine is just decent. I've had better.
Oh, where's it from?
I think Walmart.
Okay.
It was like the cheapest brand.
So it's like a bagged one, not like a loose leaf.
Yeah.
I see.
hmm
I feel like loose leaf is, from my experience, almost always like stronger.
Yeah, it's definitely tastier.
I feel like a lot of bagged teas that I have end up like tasting pretty weak and watery.
Yeah. Sometimes I wonder if they're old or something. Gone
Ew,
stale.
gross. I guess that's possible.
Well, why are they so flavorless?
Maybe we're just buying the shitty ones. I don't know.
Yeah, probably. I've had good bagged tea, but it was like a better brand.
Yeah.
David's Tea does some bagged teas too.
But their bagged tea is like just their loose leaf in like a bag.
Yeah.
Which I guess
Isn't
is
that what bagged
technically
tea
what
is?
what all bagged tea is, but I don't know. I feel like it's different somehow.
Maybe they have higher standards because their tea is usually very delicious.
Yes. Indeed. All right, shall we get started?
Sure.
Where did we leave off our characters, Jess?
Let me see. So, Gendry learns of Arya's true identity. And
She's a girl?
a girl? Sounds like we're saying Goyles.
Goyles?
Like, now I'm confused. Oh, gargoyles. That's what I was thinking. I was like, what is a goyle?
Gregory Goyle from Harry Potter.
Oh, I guess so. Okay, where am I? Gendry learns of Arya's true identity, and the both of them and Hot Pie are captured by the Mountain.
And Lami is murdered.
Yep, Mommy dead, and Weasel is, hopefully somewhere where safe.
Escaped into the wild.
Yeah. Tyrion receives Robb Stark's terms and convinces Cersei to marry. I always forget how to say her name. Myrcella. Is
Yeah.
that right?
Myrcella, yeah.
And he convinces Cersei to marry Myrcella to Trystane Martell while learning who his informer is. Or the snitch.
Amongst the small council.
Yeah. Amongst the three on that chapter.
Right.
Mira and Jojen Reed arrive to Winterfell, and Bran dreams of Jojen approaching summer in the God's Wood.
Hmm.
Like, no big deal.
Just approach a direwolf, just casual.
He's like, puppy.
What a cutie pie. I don't need a hand.
He's a good boy.
All right. Ready?
Yeah.
Chapter 22 is Catelyn.
Oh. Oh, you don't like it?
She just pisses me off so much. I'll get into it.
Okay, so I didn't mind her in this chapter.
What? Oh, shit. Okay. Well, you can fight me then.
Okay.
Okay. Catelyn dreams about being with her family and everyone being happy, alive, and whole. Okay, Bran. When dawn comes, she wakes and wishes to be with her children. Okay, this is the first thing. Bitch, go home. What? If you want to be with your kids, fucking go be with them. Cat dresses and goes outside her tent to break her fast. Robb sent her with 20 of his best men to see her safely to Renly, as well as 5 lordlings to add weight and honor to her mission. Their travels have been fairly safe so far. They've avoided towns and holdfasts, and there are too few of them to be a threat and too many to be easy prey.
How many do you think that is?
Well, 20 plus 5 plus her. 26.
I forgot that there was a number in there already. So I was like really like, how many is that?
26 makes sense.
Yeah.
Catelyn hadn't wanted to be the one to go to Renly. She had wanted to stay in Riverrun and be with her dying father. Okay, so which is it? Do you want to be with your children or your father? You can't have both, you greedy fuck.
Everywhere.
But there had been no one else for Robb to send. I feel like that's kind of bullshit.
I can see where Rob is coming from. I feel like his Northmen aren't very nice to people like Renly.
Oh, I see. So Cat would be the only one who
Like,
could manage like negotiating and not like losing her temper.
yeah, that's what I can see. Why he sent Cat.
I see. But I feel like also he's asked her to go home plenty of times.
Maybe he is also trying to get rid of her as well.
I think that's partly it.
Yeah.
Because, like, if she had gone home like he had fucking asked her to, then he would have had to send someone else to Renly. So it's not like there is no one else. It's just he's making the best choice with what he has. But still, she could have gone home by now.
Yeah.
That's my point, I guess.
Okay. I guess I can see that.
During that conversation, Robb had mentioned marching with his host. When Cat questioned him further, he said he can't sit at Riverrun waiting for peace. It makes him look weak and afraid. So he's planning on marching before even receiving the reply from Cersei with, like, his peace terms.
Oh, I guess so.
Yeah. Cat tried to argue that Tywin wants them to march on Harrenhal, but Robb said he never mentioned Harrenhal. Then the topic changes. Ooh, so where's he marching to then?
Think it's Harrenhal?
Well, he said no to Harrenhal. And
Oh.
it wouldn't be King's Landing, because you can't get to King's Landing without passing Harrenhal.
I thought maybe the changing the subject was him like directing his mother away from the topic on Harrenhal, but
Well, when she mentions Harrenhal, he's like, I never said Harrenhal.
yeah, like
That doesn't sound to me like he's just trying to change the subject. That sounds like he's insulted that he would, or that she would think that was his plan. But if I pull out the map and have a look,
like I'm just trying. Maybe he's going to Casterly Rock, but I wouldn't know where he would go because I can't imagine them trying to go to King's Landing.
yeah, there's no way they could make it there without having to face Tywin at Harrenhal anyway. Yeah, I guess it could be Casterly Rock, but who's at Casterly Rock at this point? Oh, there's a host that's massing there under...
Hey, don't we find that out in a few chapters?
Do we?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, shit, I thought we knew that already.
Yeah, I don't recall who's at Casterly Rock right now.
No, I feel like we've mentioned it in a previous chapter.
Oh yeah? Okay.
Yeah,
But I
yeah,
forgot
because
about
it was like Tywin's uncle or something, or like brother, I don't know, some guy who's like an idiot, but he has a son who has brains. Do you remember this?
What?
Why do you not
No.
remember this? Damn
I
it!
don't.
God damn it!
I
Fuck,
believe
you're making
you.
me feel crazy. Shit.
You might be right. I don't know.
Oh well. Let's just move on.
Okay.
Okay. As Kat was preparing to leave Riverrun, she thought about how fate drives her south and south again when she should be going north to home. Oh my god, bitch, go home. I really feel like Rob is literally only sending her on missions because he wants her out of the fucking way.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
After eating, Kat and her column start again for Renly's camp. They are a half day's ride away when they are taken. Renly's outriders, 20 men, mailed and mounted, approach, and everyone introduces themselves, and Kat states her business, which is to treat with Renly Baratheon, the king in the south, for her son, Robb Stark, king in the north. Sir Colin? I guess it's Colin, but it could be Colin. But I think it's probably Colin.
It's probably Colin.
Sir Colin, one of Renly's outriders, corrects her, saying that King Renly is the crowned and anointed lord of all of the Seven Kingdoms. And the outriders escort Kat and her column to Renly's camp. There is a mind-boggling amount of men there, and Kat recognizes many High House's banners, including Houses Tyrell, Florent, Fossaway, Tarly, and more.
Are you talking about Renly's army?
Yes.
Okay. You made it sound smaller than it sounds in the books.
I said there's a mind-boggling lot of men. How am I making it
Is
sound
that a
small?
lot? Like, it sounds even bigger, like, covering many leagues.
Okay, what did I say that made it sound small?
Mind-boggling amount of men.
How does that make it sound small?
I don't know.
I guess it depends on how you interpret it.
Yeah.
Mind-boggling as in there's so many that you can't even comprehend it.
I guess.
That's what I mean.
Okay.
Yes. So there's currently a melee.
I think that sounds right. Melee?
No.
Okay,
There's
melee.
currently a melee or a melee. Melee. Fuck.
It's called melee.
There's a melee in progress. Kat leaves her men at the edge of the tourney and goes with Sir Colin to see the king. Kat watches the battle as they ride through and thinks that this is madness. Real enemies are on every side, yet Renly sits here playing at war like a boy. Kat also looks at the lords and ladies in the gallery and recognizes many of them as well. Lord Randall Tarly of Hornhill is there with his sword, Heartsbane. And this is Sam's father.
It is.
It is. When Kat sees Renly, she thinks he is Robert come again. He looks just how Robert used to look before Robert got chonky.
Fat?
Next to Renly is his young queen, Marjorie, daughter to Mace Tyrell. Kat knows their marriage is what holds the great Southron alliance together. Renly is 21, and the girl is no older than Robb, so 15-ish. Ew. People start sharding. Wow. People start sharding. Just all over the place.
Ew.
People start shouting, Loras, out on the field behind her, so she turns to watch the end of the melee. Loras is battling against a knight in blue armor. Surprisingly, he gets his ass beat, and ends up yielding to the blue knight. King Renly calls to the blue knight, the champion, to approach. Voices call out, a beauty, and Tarth. And, oh shit, as soon as they said Tarth, I was like, but Kat hears some people criticizing how the knight defeated Loras, which was by pulling him off his horse. So she asks Sir Colin who this man is and why people mislike him. Sir Colin says, it's because he is no man. That's Brienne of Tarth, daughter to Lord Selwyn the Evenstar. Fuck yeah! Oh, hell yeah. I think I actually did a little dance.
You sent me a Snapchat of this page.
Oh, yeah, I did, didn't I?
Yeah.
Oh, I was very excited. King Renly asks Brienne what she wants for her champion's boon. A boon is a favor or a request.
I like that word.
Yes. Brienne asks to be a part of his Rainbow Guard. She wants to pledge her life to his. Renly accepts and tells her to remove her helm, which she does. Kat then understands that when they are calling her a beauty, they are mocking her. Kat feels for her. She asks herself, is there any creature on earth as unfortunate as an ugly woman?
I guess in those times.
Wow, fuck that. Brienne is a fucking boss, and Kat can go suck a bag of dicks.
True. Very true.
Renly gives Brienne her rainbow cloak, and she looks proud and happy. Sir Colin then introduces Catelyn. They all exchange courtesies, and King Renly offers his condolences for Catelyn's loss and says the Lannisters will answer for her husband's murder. When Cat thanks him, she calls him my lord, which makes Brienne sharply correct her and tell her it's your grace and that she should kneel. Cat says they can argue about titles, but there are more pressing matters, which makes Renly laugh. At least Renly is chill. I'll give him that.
Yeah. I like that about him.
Yeah. Makes sense why people like him. Renly asks when Robb means to march on Harrenhal, but Cat hasn't decided whether he's friend or foe yet, so she says she doesn't sit on her son's war councils. Plus, I'm pretty sure she doesn't know. For real.
Yeah. Pretty sure she doesn't sit.
Yeah.
Forgot the words.
On Robb's war council.
Yes, on is the word. Yep.
Renly asks about the Kingslayer, and Cat tells him he's being held prisoner at Riverrun. Renly's lords and ladies are unhappy that he's still alive. Renly then offers Cat and her companions places to rest and an invite to their feast tonight, and he leaves. Cat stays in Renly's own pavilion and realizes why this host moves so slowly. There is so much unnecessary crap in there. Which, yeah, it sounds like there's a lot of, like, decorative armor and, like,
Yeah.
shit like vases and, like...
Pieces of art.
art, yeah. Like, you do not need this to win a war, my dude.
No.
Cat bathes and changes and then goes to the feast. Cat notices that Brienne of Tarth isn't gowned as a lady, but wears a knight's finery instead. Cat can tell that Brienne knows she's ungainly and unattractive, as she only speaks when spoken to and seldom lifts her eyes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's kind of sad.
It is kind of sad. It doesn't fucking matter if she's not typically attractive, man. She should just know she's a boss and own it.
Hopefully, we'll get to read her becoming a boss and knowing it.
Hell yeah. And there's a fat paragraph with descriptions on the food, and I'm realizing that George R.R. Martin really likes to describe food.
Please more, I enjoy.
It always sounds so delicious,
Yeah.
but it's always like massive paragraphs.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot.
It sounds great. Cat also notices that Marjorie and Loras sit on either side of Renly, but most of Renly's attention is directed to Loras. They're chatting and laughing a lot. There's music and a fool's performance, and Lord Rowan, next to Cat, comments that all of the Rainbow Guard are so young. Cat says war will make them old. She says they are knights of the summer and winter is coming. Brienne then speaks up. She says that Cat is wrong. Winter will never come for them. If they die in battle, there will be songs, and it's always summer in the songs.
Kind of sounds like Sansa there.
Right? Like, I guess it's the whole glory and death kind of mindset.
Yeah.
But yeah, the logic there is slightly flawed. Renly then invites Cat to walk with him. Brienne offers to join, saying Renly should not be without protection, but he politely declines, which seems to hurt Brienne. Even if I didn't know her character already, I could already tell that this is where she, like, places her value.
Yeah.
'Cause, yeah, obviously she knows that she's not attractive. She's not gonna have, like, the value, I put all this in quotes, by the way, the value that a typical woman in this day would have.
Yeah.
Like, she probably thinks she's never gonna, never gonna find love, never gonna have children, blah, 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 blah. I don't know if she wants that anyway, but
Yeah.
it is.
She found something that she's good at.
Exactly. Let me have a sip. Mm-hmm. I think I might have put a little too much honey in my tea. Still tastes really good, but it's kind of sweet.
Don't you usually put like a shitload of sugar in your teas anywho?
Not a shitload.
I don't know.
What do you mean?
Like the times you've made me tea, like Earl Grey teas, you'd always make it really sweet.
Oh, I think it's unintentional. I just like
Just like pouring.
I just pour it in and then I'm like, oh, that's way too much. And I don't know why I can't stop myself earlier. But you make my tea every time and I enjoy it. And I'm assuming you're not putting a shit ton of sweetener in it.
Am I?
Are you?
Not so much. I don't think so.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
As they walk, Renly asks if Barristan Selmy is with Robb at Riverrun, which confuses Kat. She says no, and Renly explains how Selmy was replaced as Lord Commander of the Kingsguard. Renly was told Selmy left King's Landing, vowing to take up service with the true king. So, when he didn't show up at Highgarden, Renly thought perhaps he had gone to Riverrun. Which, oh shit, if we go by process of elimination, if Barristan Selmy is not with Renly and he's not with Robb, he's with Stannis.
Or Lord Balon Greyjoy.
Can you imagine if Barristan Selmy thought Balon Greyjoy was the true king of the Seven Kingdoms?
Yeah.
Oh my god. That is actually hilarious.
Yeah.
Barristan Selmy goes to Balon Greyjoy. Balon Greyjoy hasn't even claimed a crown yet. At this point in time.
Oh, I guess.
I mean, he has in the past, but that claim was squashed.
Mhm.
Thank you for that. That was funny.
Oh, no prop.
So, Renly and Kat talk about how Renly offered his swords to Ned on the night of Robert's death, but how he had refused, so Renly had left. And Kat thinks that if he had stayed, Ned might still be alive. Oof, she is not happy with Renly.
No.
They reach the roof of Lord Caswell's keep, and Kat looks out to see thousands of fires covering the land for leagues in all directions. So it seems pretty intentional that Renly brought her up here. He's like showing off how many people he has with him.
Yeah, he's flexing.
Yeah, exactly. He asks how many fires burn at Riverrun. Renly was told Robb had 20,000 swords with him when he crossed at the Neck, and with the Lords of the Trident, he suspects there are about 40,000 now. Kat thinks that there aren't nearly that many. Renly says he has twice that number here, and that's only part of his strength. He has loyal lords at Highgarden, Storm's End, and in Dorne as well. Plus, Stannis holds Dragonstone. He brings Stannis into this, like, what are you, fucking stupid?
Yeah.
Kat snaps at him that if either of them have a right to the throne, it's Stannis. But Renly asks what right Robert had to the Iron Throne. Which, good point.
Yeah.
Renly goes on to say that Robb can have all his lands, titles, and honors as long as he supports Renly in his claim. And that 300 years ago, a Stark king knelt to Aegon the Dragon, which was wisdom. Robb now must be wise as well.
Is he comparing himself
To Aegon the Dragon?
Aegon the Conqueror?
I guess so. Yeah,
He's
but
fun.
if you think about it though, Renly does have a massive amount of support.
He does.
I really think spoiler alert. I really think if he had been a smarter, ruler,
Yeah. Like taking things more serious.
exactly, yeah. He could have won.
Probably. Or at least taken down some.
Yeah. With the amount of support he has, I really think he could have won.
Yeah.
And if, Stannis wasn't messing with black magic.
True.
They are then interrupted by a rider at the portcullis. Portcullis? Portcullis. Below. Who calls for the king. Renly shouts down at him, and the rider says that they are besieged at Storm's End. Renly is shocked. How was he not informed that Lord Tywin left Harrenhal? But the rider says it's not the Lannisters. It's Stannis. Oh, shit. It's fucking on. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Stannis is making a move. Against his brother first.
It's like, well, this belongs to me? I'll take.
Yeah. I guess that's right.
Yeah.
Storm's
I
End is
think-
like the Baratheon.
Yeah,
Lance.
King Robert gave it to Renly instead of Stannis. So I guess Stannis always
Right.
believes that it's his.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Right. Did this play out the same way in the show?
I don't think so.
Yeah, because
I don't.
none of this really sounds familiar.
Yeah.
But then again, we can't trust my memory, which is why I ask you.
I don't remember this happening.
Okay. What's funny is that I almost forgot that Brienne was originally what's the word I'm looking for?
Rainbow.
Yeah, like dedicated to Renly.
Yeah. Oh. Yep, that's where she starts out.
Yeah. Oh, how things change. Spoiler alert. Okay, no more spoilers. All right. Moving on to chapter 23.
John.
Yes.
It's pouring rain, and John thinks enviously of his brothers at the wall, warm and fed. A hunting horn sounds, and the old bear says that Craster still at his keep. So we get to meet Craster.
Right. I had completely forgotten who this was until they arrived, and then I was like, oh. What? I forget names.
Okay.
But like as soon as they arrived there, I was like, oh, this guy.
Oh, this guy.
But isn't it, how ironic is it that John is now like, I want to be back at the wall?
I know. He wanted to be ranger the entire time. Now it's like, fuck that.
Yeah. He's a ranger for like 2 days, and he's like, I'm done. It's obviously been a lot longer than 2 days, but
Yeah.
compared to how long I think rangers usually are out there for, it's just pretty funny that he's already over it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Lord Mormont commands John to ride down the column and spread the word, and to make sure everyone knows to leave Craster's wives alone. In the midst of the column, John pauses briefly to chat with Sam. John tells him that they will be staying in Craster's keep that night, but Sam is kind of like nervous. He's heard rumors that Craster is a savage who marries his daughters.
They ain't rumors. That's just solid truth. Gross.
Yeah, John reminds Sam to stay away from Craster's wives before thinking LOL, as if he needs that warning.
Well, surprise, surprise, later on. Enough spoilers, Raven.
John continues down to the rear guard, spreading the news before heading back up to the front. John thought they were going to find a large keep, but instead they come upon a small windowless Dob and Waddle Hall.
Dob
No.
and Waddle?
Yeah, so I googled that, so I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And basically it's a hut made of sticks and mud. The Waddle is the sticks, and the Dob is a combination of wet soil, clay, sand, and poop. And straw.
Did you say poop?
Yep. Poop.
Okay.
Usually animal poop. Other
Wha-
people putting their own poop, cementing their house together.
Well, that is what I pictured at first. When you have clay and mud already mixed in there, how is poop gonna make that stronger? Someone please explain to me. Oh my god. I mean, I guess it'll ward off other people or something. I don't know.
Perhaps.
That's so gross.
The place is also full of piglets, pigs, dogs, and puppers. John thinks that maybe 50 at most will be warm and dry that night. When John dismounts, he is told that Mormont's already inside the hall, and he is to join him. The door to the keep is made of 2 flaps of deer hide. How do these people keep warm?
Giant dog pile, because there's so many of them.
I guess so. Ew.
Yep.
24 of the chief rangers are standing around the fire pit in the dirt floor. It's one room with a sleeping loft above them. Craster is the only one sitting in his own chair. He looks like a powerful but old man with hair that is turning white and has a cruel face.
How old is he supposed to be?
I have no idea. I guess he's an old man. Perhaps he's in his 50s or 60s.
Yeah, I think 50s would have been my guess.
Yeah.
Just because he's been around long enough to have helped out the Rangers for, like, years, right?
Yeah.
And also the white hair. But I feel like he can't be old enough that he would be on his deathbed.
Yeah, 'cause he
Because,
seems pretty lively.
yeah. Plus, it's like the Middle Ages, right? So everyone was dying. Like,
Everyone got old sooner.
yeah. You know what I'm saying.
Craster is telling Lord Mormont that he had not seen Benjen Stark in 3 years. Mormont tries to jog Craster's memory by telling him that he must have passed through just the last year in search of Sir Waymar Royce, Jared, and Young Will, if you remember those three.
Who's that? I had.
From what?
You can explain first.
Okay,
I
so
do remember, but for those who don't.
they're from the prologue of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, so the very
How we started
first
out the
chapter
series.
of the series,
Mhm.
exactly. I was gonna say, for some reason I thought that Will was spelt like a weird way, but no, it's spelt totally normal.
Huh.
Because there's a lot of
But
other names that are like
yeah, spelled really
typical
weird.
names, but spelt
Yeah.
weird, like Kevin, like spelt with a Y, or is it an A? I don't know.
I think it's A.
Yeah, like Kevon. But yeah, for some reason I had remembered Will being spelled with like a Y or something,
Y-L?
like WYL.
I don't think it was.
Well, no, it wasn't. I went
There's
back,
a lot of weird names, though.
but I went back and looked, and no, it was
Did
spelled
you?
normal. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me?
We've just seen so many unusually spelt names.
Yeah, I guess so.
Craster remembers those three, and John remembers Will as the deserter his father put to death 1,000 years ago.
I love that
He's so wrong.
exaggeration. 1,000 years ago. When really it was like just over
Probably
a year
only a
ago.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn. So much has changed.
Yeah.
Craster has no idea where any of them were headed because he doesn't give a shit. He's just there to collect.
What did they just like give him gifts to stay with him?
Yeah.
That's
Yup.
all? Okay.
Mormont suggests Craster and his wives head to the wall for safety, since these are dangerous times, but Craster makes one of his wives answer, "This is our place. Craster keeps us safe. Better to die free than live a slave."
Alright.
Sounds like brainwashing to me.
Yep.
This sounds like a cult.
Ew.
Oh my god. Probably.
It kind of is. It's so gross.
Mormont tries to tell Craster of the abandoned villages they passed and of the whites that they've seen, but Craster only snorts in response, unbothered. Jarman Buckwell, one of the rangers, asks about his king, but Craster doesn't care for Matt's radar or kings because he is a free man. Craster tells them that in return for holding their host, he needs to be paid in wine and a sharp new axe. Then Craster asks if they have a man who can draw maps, and John steps forward saying that Sam can. Mormont beckons John closer and tells John to get Sam to come to them after he's eaten and to find Tollet to bring an axe for Craster.
Tollet.
Yeah.
Why don't
Some
they
names
just
are
give
unusual.
the axe to Sam to take so they don't have to get two people?
Oh shit.
You know what I mean?
Sam can bring out the-
Efficiency, man.
Craster stares at John and says that he looks like a Stark.
Damn!
Ooh.
How the fuck?
He is perspective. God.
What?
Perceptive.
There you go. Okay, I wasn't even sure what you were trying to say for a minute there.
I struggled for a bit.
You got it.
Mormont introduces Jon Snow as his steward and squire. Jon heads out and finds someone to bring an axe and wine to the hall. Right when Jon was thinking about where to find Sam, he hears screaming of wolf. He sprints to the cry and finds one of Craster's wives cornered while Ghost is eating a rabbit with another dead in front of him. Jon calls Ghost over and sees that the girl is around 15 or 16 and is pregnant and is one of Craster's wives.
Slash daughters.
One of his daughter wives.
Ew. So wrong.
She goes to call Jon my lord, but Jon tells her that he's not one. One of his brothers calls out not to listen to him. That's Lord Snow, bastard of Winterfell and brother to kings. He then tells her that the wolf, this same brother, tells her that the wolf wants to eat her baby in her tummy.
Wow, that is so mean.
What the hell? She suddenly remembers that she's not allowed to talk to them and she runs away. Ghost brings the other dead rabbit to John, which he takes.
Thanks, Ghost.
John goes through the camp and Ghost finds Sam. He shows Sam the rabbit and says that they'll feast on it, and then Sam has to go to the hall to draw maps for Craster. They cook up the rabbit, and then afterwards Sam says that he can go for a whole leg of lamb to himself. That's freaking huge. It makes me kind of nauseous thinking.
We get it, Sam. You can eat.
Ew. Sam leaves, and then John sleeps with Ghost by the fire. The next morning, everything is covered in a fine glaze of ice. He finds it so beautiful that he imagines his sister's reactions if they were to see it. He thinks that Sansa would cry at the wonder of it, and that Arya would run around trying to touch everything. That's cute that he still thinks of his siblings.
Yeah.
Sisters. Both of them.
Yes.
He hears a soft voice call out, Lord Snow? And he turns to see the same pregnant girl from the night before wearing Sam's cloak.
Uh-oh.
And he's like, oh, what the fuck? She says that the fat one sent her. And asks if it's true that if he's brother to a king. John corrects her that he's half-brother to a king, and he's also a bastard. She has heard that the king gives justice and protects the weak. She begs John to take her with them.
Oh dear.
She says that she'll even be his wife.
Wow.
Ooh. John says that he has sworn never to take a wife and that he is a guest in her father's home. Like, how can you do something so offensive?
Right.
She says that she needs to leave to save her baby. She introduces herself as Gilly, and I thought this was fun, but John tells her that was a pretty name because Sansa once told him that he should say that whenever a lady tells him her name.
Yeah.
That was a cute and interesting tidbit about John.
That is really cute.
She tells him that she's afraid for her baby. She says it won't be so bad to have a daughter because then she'll just live to be another wife. But if she has a son, Craster will give him to the gods.
Ooh.
He hasn't had any sons in a while, so he's been sacrificing their animals to these gods. She calls them the cold ones and the white shadows in the night.
Oh my god.
John is like, oh no. He asks for their eye color, and she tells him blue as bright stars.
Oh my
So he's
god.
Like, oh my god.
He's fucking adding to the white army.
John tells Gilly that she will not be safe with them because they're going to head north in search of the others. And he's not even sure if they will be heading back this way. She apologizes and then runs away, making John feel like shit. He heads back to the hall, and he sees Sam and Gilly standing together. Gilly runs when she sees him, and John goes off on Sam, asks if he's stupid. Does he really think Mormont would let him take one of Craster's wives?
Right? What the fuck, Sam?
Made Sam feel kind of bad, I think.
I get that Sam just like, I'm assuming Gilly approached him.
Yeah.
And then Sam just didn't really know what to do, so his first instinct was like, I have to ask John about this.
I think he's also excited, like he wanted to help because he was excited that a girl was talking to him.
Yeah, it's probably partly that as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, his first instinct was like, I need to talk to John about this.
Mhm.
So then he sent Gilly to John because he was busy making maps for Craster.
Yeah.
So I see it from Sam's perspective.
I see it too. Like he seems like he has got a big heart.
Yeah.
John walks away, angry and confused. Confused because he feels ashamed for not being able to help.
Right.
When they leave, John rides beside Lord Mormont. John asks Mormont about Craster's sons, and Mormont confirms Craster gives his sons to the woods. and that all of the Rangers know. Mormont asks how he knows, like how he's heard of this, and John says that a frightened wife had asked him for help. Mormont says that they need Craster as an ally, and he is not subject to their laws, so like they can't do anything about it.
Right.
Mormont tells John what he learned from Craster, that the villages are empty because the wildlings had been gathering with Mance radar in the Frost Fangs, and that he thinks Mance means to strike south into the Seven Kingdoms. He says that the Night's Watch is not what it used to be, and that with the war going on, this is the perfect time for Mance to strike.
Oh shit.
Mormont says that they must find him and stop him first.
Damn. So, this came from searching for Benjen to we have to stop Mance Raider.
Yeah. So like, holy crap.
Jam. Kind of sounded like I said jam there.
Jam.
Jam. Something I wanted to point out in this chapter. Early on in the chapter, when John is like marching down through the through his brothers and telling them to like not talk to Craster's wives or whatever the warnings were.
Yeah.
I just wanted to appreciate how much detail George R.R. Martin adds to even insignificant side characters.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, he gives them such standout characteristics even though they're like not important.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, so for example, there's a brother named Dywin who has wooden teeth that like clack whenever he talks. And yeah, it just adds so much dimension to the world and really makes each character memorable.
Yeah.
And I think it's really cool.
I think it's cool too.
It's so
It seems interesting.
yeah, it's so easy to just be like, one of the brothers smiled and did A, B, and C. But no, it's like his wooden teeth, like okay, he has wooden teeth. Like, there's a story behind that, but we will never know it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He just makes all his characters so interesting, even though they're not main characters.
Like, you probably won't ever see them again.
Exactly.
I like that.
Yeah.
Chapter Theon.
Right, chapter 24.
I just realized, reading this, that the Ironborn are really similar to Vikings. With, like, their long ships, raiding villages.
Ah, okay. That makes sense.
Theon is hitting on an Ironborn woman named Eskred. And I wrote a lot of back and forth of their flirts just to get more into Eskred.
Yeah.
So you can, like imagine her.
Yep.
And Eskred is showing him his new longship that was built for him. For him to captain. She is the wife of the man who built Theon the ship. She's playing hard to get while flirting with him, and he really likes her. He thinks that she's witty and bold. He's trying to get her to fuck him by saying that he pains for her, and like, when she's old, she can brag to her grandkids that she got to sleep with him.
Oh my
He
god.
even offers to name his longship after her. She says that the longship should be named after her because she helped, like, she agrees, like, it should be named after me because I helped build it.
Right.
Theon calls her a fair maiden, which makes her laugh. And she said that she says that she's no maiden, she's a sea bitch. So then Theon claims sea bitch as his longship's name, which makes her eyes sparkle. I like that name, sea bitch.
Yeah.
Theon begs her, she's pregnant, I didn't mention this. Theon begs her that pregnant women bring good luck to men that bed them, that if she were cruel enough to send an unlucky man into battle. She's like, yeah.
She's got so much attitude, I love it.
I know. He tells her to come to Pike with him, and if she doesn't, he'll lose his way to grief and maybe like fall off a cliff and die, and then it'll be all her fault.
Oh my god.
He tells her that they can share his horse and she can ride up front or behind, whatever she likes, and she says that she likes to be on top. And Theon is like, Hot damn.
It's like, where have you been all my life?
He tells her that he needs her to warm his father's halls, caves, and agrees to go with him. Theon takes her to the inn where his horse and squire are. On the way, the townsfolk all stop to bow as they pass, and Theon thinks, like, about damn time they started showing me some respect around here.
Oh my god.
Eskrid asks Theon if he's chosen a crew yet while hailing various towns as they pass. She advises Theon to choose a crew who have rode together before, which I think pretty smart.
Yes.
At the inn, Theon grabs his squire, who is a mute 12-year-old boy named Wex, and told him they're leaving. When Wex sees Eskrid, his eyes go round, and Theon is like, how's this kid never seen a woman before? God.
Ay.
They ride to Pike with Eskrid sitting in front of her so he can cop a feel.
Oh my
He
god.
grabs a titty. She's like, stop, your squire's watching. She pulls off his hand and holds it prisoner. They chat for the ride, and Theon thinks of how easy it is to talk to her and thinks that's a damn waste that she's already married. So he really likes her.
Yeah.
When they reach Pike and dismount, the castle hounds come bounding over, jumping all over Eskrid while she laughs and wrestles with them. The stableman comes running after the dogs, and Theon starts giving him commands, but he ignores Theon and goes straight to Eskrid, welcoming back the Lady Asha. You dumb fuck!
For those who don't remember, who is Asha?
Asha is Theon's older sister.
The one who is now heir to Balon's everything.
Balon's heir.
Yeah.
Theon stares at her in shock and realizes with humiliation. Oh, I wrote it down. Estrid is his sister, Asha.
Yeah.
Theon freaks out and's like, what the fuck?
Can we pause for a second and like go back to all those little things that you pointed out that were happening?
Yeah.
Like they're riding back through the town and people are like waving and like treating him with respect, but they were actually doing it for Asha.
Yeah. All those people that she was hailing and like saying hey to. Like she's friends with all of them. They all know her.
Yeah. And then Wex, his little squire, like got so round-eyed, not just because it's a lady, but because he knew the whole time
Yeah.
that it was Asha, Theon's sister.
Theon is pretty thick. Dense.
He just didn't recognize her. And he's like really quick to believe that, you know, people think he's amazing and...
Yeah, he is.
So he was like not in the least bit suspicious when people just randomly started being like, oh, Lord Theon.
Asha tells him that she wanted to see what kind of man he was, and now she knows. She leaves to get ready for the feast that's going to happen that evening. Theon turns to his squire, who's smirking at him. Theon smacks Wex upside his head twice for not warning him. What?
Poor Wex.
Ow!
Yeah, right? He's mute, right?
Yeah, is Theon speak sign?
What's he supposed to do? Like, point at her, point at Theon, do like a weird linky thing with his finger? Like, Theon would just be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna hit that. You bet your ass I am.
Yeah. In his chambers, Theon drinks while thinking in horror of everything that he said and did to his sister. Like other people seeing. And he kind of realizes that he has no place in Pike, and it's all Ash's fault. He blames Asha for not being popular or respected. When he hears music in the distance, he gets dressed in his plainest clothes and heads to the feast. No one takes much notice of Theon when he enters, and to his dismay, he sees Asha seated at his father's right-hand side.
The place of
honor.
honor.
Honor! Theon sits beside her and hisses that she's in his seat. Asha retaliates that he's mistaken. His place is in Winterfell.
Oof.
Theon forces himself to eat while feeling sick to his stomach. He's having a bad day.
Yep.
Theon says to her that every word she said to him was a lie, and Asha's like, oh no, it wasn't. She stands and shouts at one of the axe dancers, who throws an axe at her, which she snatches out of air, slams it into the table, saying, that's your husband, and she pulls a dagger out of her breast, saying, that is her babe. Everyone in the Great Hall starts laughing at Theon, and even his father is smiling.
Oh, dear.
After the feast, Lord Balon Greyjoy tells everyone at his table to come to his solar for a meeting and leaves. Theon rises and follows. Lord Balon announces that he has made his plans. He tells Theon that he will take 8 long ships north to raid the fishing villages and sink any ships, and that his uncle Aeron and Dagmar Cleftjaw will be coming with him.
Aaron?
Theon flushes... Yeah, it's uncle... Not Aeron. Aeron. Or Aaron?
Probably
Is it
Aaron.
Uncle Aaron? Okay. Uncle Aaron. I guess. And Dagmar Cleftjaw will be coming with him. Yeah, that's a hard word. Theon flushes in humiliation. Clearly, his father doesn't trust him, and he would barely be a captain with his uncle and Dagmar coming along to take over. And 8 ships is like a puny amount
Yeah.
of ships. Lord Balon then turns to Asha and tells her that she will have 30 ships to take Deepwood Motte. Asha smiles, saying that she's always wanted a castle. Theon tries to protest, but Lord Balon just shoots him down. His uncle Victarion says, what is dead may never die, and everyone repeats the words, with Theon angrily mumbling them along. Leaving the Solar, Theon stumbles across the rope bridge, drunk and miserable. Theon stops in the middle and contemplates the rocks below. What? Ooh.
Damn.
Then he loses his footing and falls to his knees. Asha helps him up and says that he can't hold his wine. Theon says that he liked her better when she was Eskrid. And Asha laughs, saying that she liked him better when he was 9.
Yeah.
She's still, like, nice to him.
Yeah. She helped him up.
She just makes the roast.
I officially love her.
Yeah, I know. She's funny.
She has rocketed to the top of my favorite characters list.
Ooh.
Like, maybe not the tippy top, but she is up there.
Yeah, she's funny. I like her.
Yeah. I think it's pretty significant that Theon chooses to drink wine while Asha chooses to drink ale. I think
Yeah,
it,
I
like...
think it's a difference in their upbringing and stuff.
Exactly, yeah.
Theon is Mr. Fancy Pants to the rest of them.
Mm-hmm.
I like that he dresses in his plainest clothes. He learned his lesson.
Yeah, because... what, was it she who was making fun of him, or was that, like, back when Balon was like, what the fuck are you wearing?
Balon,
Silk?
yeah, taking his clothes off and going, what the fuck?
Right.
You didn't pay the iron price.
Right. But also, in that meeting, I was keeping an eye out for it, and Theon doesn't really seem to have any sort of introspection about, like, what they're about to do to Winterfell.
No.
So...
I wonder if it's something Theon will do on his own. I don't really think so much that Lord Balon said anything about it anymore. Because it's not coming up.
No,
I
yeah.
thought Lord Balon was hinting at it a few chapters ago.
Wait, at what?
Like, a few chapters ago, like, I remember speculating that Lord Balon was saying that he was planning on taking Winterfell now that Robin, his host, has taken most of his men.
Yeah, I was just expecting Theon to, like, have some feelings about it at this point.
Yeah, it seems like he's more consumed with impressing his father or, like, gaining his respect, and has forgotten why he was sent there in the first place.
Yeah, so I think that Theon, it doesn't really feel real to Theon at this point. It's still just, like, ideas, and it's not really gonna hit him until they're actually there, and he's
Oh, yeah.
actually, like, hurting the Northerners. Then it's gonna hit him that he's gonna be like, what am I doing? Like, I've lived with these people, they've treated me well, like...
Yeah.
I think that's when it's gonna hit him. Because he's, like, never been to war, or, like...
Well, he was at the place where Jamie was captured. He's being Rob's. He's being part of some
Oh,
Rob's
yeah.
battles.
I guess so.
Which is why I think it's weird that he's forgotten Rob already.
Yeah, I feel like he's not. It hasn't hit him yet. What the, like, consequences and ramifications are gonna be.
Yeah. I don't think he's even considered them.
No. Anyway, that's it, right?
That's it.
Well, that's the end of this episode. If you want more of the podcast, please follow us on Instagram. You can follow the podcast at Tigbab Podcast, or you can follow us separately. My handle is Crimby, Jess's is just.egan24. You can also find us on Facebook. Just search Tigbab Podcast or Tea is Good, Books Are Better, and we should pop up there. Also, please subscribe to our good friend Baram Barami on YouTube. He's the one who made our jingle that you heard at the start of this episode. And he's really dope and makes cool stuff, so give him a like and a subscribe. Also, you can check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Tea is Good, Books Are Better. We have a few different tiers on there with fun rewards, so if you contribute, you will get something in return. You will also be helping us out immensely, and we'd be very appreciative, but we also just appreciate you listening. And please don't forget to share the podcast with your friends to help us continue growing. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next time on Quarantine Life. All right, stay indoors, stay healthy, stay safe. You don't have to stay inside, but stay home.